Hello and welcome to the Print Polygraph. All eyes now on the political desert storm brewing in Rajasthan, with Congress leader Sachin Pilot speculations rife that he may be moving out of the Congress party and float his own party. On the other hand, there's the BJP, which is also dealing with factionalism in the state and has to deal with the question of whether or not it will go ahead in the next election with former Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje as its campaign face. To discuss this entire situation, we have with us our political editor DK Singh. Thanks for joining us, DK. And as usual, we will also be taking all the questions that all of you have sent us. So DK, firstly, what's happening with Pilot? The entire discussion with Kharge, Rahul Gandhi, with Gehlot face to face does not seem to have worked out. Lots of speculation, but what can we expect?
Because more than politics, I think it's about personal egos, both sides. From the Chief Minister's side, Sachin Pilot's side also. It's more personal than political. Just look at Pilot's demands. I mean, whatever the three demands he wants to be addressed are like, you have to reorganize the Rajasthan Public Service Commission. You have to pay compensation to students who are victims of paper leaks. And then the biggest one is you have to institute a high-level committee to basically look into the allegations of corruption against the Vasundhara Raje government. Now, if you have to mollify Sachin Pilot, because he has made it publicly, for him also it's difficult, it will be loss of face if nothing is done. Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot could have done it easily. You form a committee. Now, the committee doesn't have to submit a report now, and it's against the former Chief Minister. It would drag on, but no, you don't want to go even to that level. So, and we've seen the history of animosity between the two. Talking about Pilot's options, I don't really think on 11th when your speculation, everybody is talking about Pilot forming a new party on the 11th. I don't really see that happening because he is still engaged with the discussions with the party high command. So, I don't really see that happening so far. But yes, I mean, what will he do if the high command does not give him a face saver in terms of, going midway to meet his demand? If Ashok Gehlot remains adamant that nothing will be done, then we don't know what will happen.
Let's go on to the BJP in that case. Can you explain to our viewers what, in terms of the factional fight there, a lot of it has, of course, the narrative has been taken over by the Gehlot Pilot fight, but the factionalism there, can you explain that to our viewers, please, especially with Vasundhara Raje?
It's big because, for a long time we have been hearing from BJP leaders, the BJP has been trying to go for a kind of transition of leadership, in fact. Handing it over to somebody else, because Vasundhara Raje has been there for 2 decades. If you remember, Vasundhara went to Rajasthan as the state BJP president way back in 2002. After that, she has had 2 terms as chief minister, and she has been the most dominant face. Now, the BJP high command wants to promote somebody else, and BJP has been trying to do that for the last, at least I would say, 7-8 years. I mean, even when she was the chief minister, BJP wanted to promote Gajan Singh Shekhawat as the state BJP president. Vasundhara Raje did not allow him to become the state BJP president. And there was, after 2-3 months long stalemate, the high command had to give in. So, this has been on. You have so many chief ministerial contenders in Rajasthan, and people, most of our viewers know about it. What I would say is, for the BJP to alienate Vasundhara Raje, that will be a politically suicidal step right now, because you may say that right now she does not wield that kind of influence, she is not that charismatic. But let me tell you, in 2002 or in the run up to 2003 assembly elections in Rajasthan, I was posted in Jaipur, and I'll tell you an anecdote. She had a political secretary named Chandraj Singhvi, and Singhvi would tell us whenever we would go to the BJP headquarters to talk about party's preparations for elections, he would tell us, well, we would have a comfortable majority. Now, we would laugh it off, because even during Bharat Singh Shekhawat's time, Bharat Singh Shekhawat was the stalwart of Rajasthan politics. Even during his time, the BJP never had a majority of its own. BJP got a majority of its own only, way back in 1977, it was not BJP, it was the Janata Party. And Shekhawat became chief minister of the Janata Party government. Then the Janata Party had got a majority. But when you talk about BJP, which came into existence in 1980, And BJP never had a majority. Shekhawat was the chief minister again in 1990, he was the chief minister again in 93, but heading a minority government, with obviously with help from other parties, by coalition governments. So in 2003, when Chandra Singhvi would tell us that Vasundhara Raje would form a government, where the BJP will have a clear majority, you would usually probably be a bit cynical, you would laugh it off. And what he would do to me, just to torture me, I would say, he would call up, we did not have mobile phones then, he would call my office number, you pick up the phone, and suddenly you hear, 120, 120. It would be Chandra Singhvi on the other end. And I would dread, every time my office phone would ring, it would be like Chandra Singhvi calling again with 120. And it would happen every second, third day. So, and lo and behold, when the election results came, BJP got 120. Exactly the number. It was a lesson for me as a journalist. So, we did not realize, because her Parivartan Yatra was drawing a lot of crowds, but we somehow went into all this data in the past, that how could she get a majority of its own? Even we were not ready to believe it, she did that. So she has her charisma, she has her mass appeal, and over the years, she enjoys a big stature in Rajasthan politics. To dismiss her as a spent force is a big miscalculation that the BJP would be doing, and that's why you see, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was there in Ajmer last week, and he got Vasundhara Raje on the dais, even though she did not address the crowd. But he had to basically give that indication that she is very much there. Now, her importance, as also the importance of Pilot. So I was just looking at the data. Why she is important for BJP? It's not that she would secure victory for the BJP on her own. But you look at the data, election data in Rajasthan, for the last 6-7 elections I was saying, I have already told you about, 77 when the Janata Party got the government. Now, 90 till 90, 93, 90 when Bhayasri Shekhawat became the chief minister. Janata, then BJP had got just 85 seats. It was good enough in 200 assembly seats. But the highlight of that election was the Congress got the highest vote share and the lowest number of seats. So Congress got, I am just looking at it, Congress got 34% votes.
As opposed to the BJP's?
25%.
25%.
Congress with 34% votes got 50 seats. BJP with 25% votes got 85 seats. And the best thing is the Janata Dal with 21% votes got 5 seats more than the Congress. So, of course, it was BJP Janata Dal government, but that's not what I am driving at. It was just an interesting factoid I thought I would tell you. Look at the difference in vote shares. In all these elections, past 6-7 elections, there are just 2 occasions where the difference in vote share was in double digits. So, one was in 98, when BJP got 33% and Congress got 45%, 12% gap of 12 percentage points. Of course, Congress formed the government. That was 98, and in 2013 that flipped. So this time BJP got 45% and Congress 33%. Again, difference of 12%. Otherwise, if you look at all of the election results, the margin of victory, in terms of vote share, has been decided by 3-4% of voters. So if you look at, say, it would be like, say, 2003 election, for instance, when BJP got a majority of its own. BJP got 39% votes, Congress got 36% vote. Look at another 2008 election, BJP 34%, Congress 37%. In the last election in 2018, the difference in vote shares is only of 0.53 percentage point. So 2018, BJP got 38.77% and Congress got 39.30%. A difference of just 0.53 percentage point. So why I am telling you all these figures is just to show that the contest there is always so stiff. It's a bipolar polity there. So any leader of, say, Vasundhara's stature in BJP or Pilot's stature in Congress, if they decide to kind of walk out and not be with the party, it weakens your chances drastically. And that's why you see the Congress trying to kind of, mollify Pilot, BJP High Command trying to mollify Vasundhara Raje. As we speak, she is in Delhi. She's talking with the party top brass. So that's the story of Rajasthan today.
So we have a few questions on both actually, DK, so we'll take that at this juncture. So Priyank Upadhyay is asking, is there a possibility that Raje becomes a union minister and Gajendra Singh Shekhawat becomes the CM if BJP wins later this year, with one deputy CM from Raje's faction?
Well, from the BJP's point of view, it's a fantastic solution.
Good formula.
But then I've known Vasundhara Raje for 20 years now. I mean, ever since she joined state politics. Before that, I would be watching her. But then from 2002, I knew her from very close quarters, every move she made. I can say that she is not going to accept this union cabinet berth. I mean, no way. She is not leaving Rajasthan and she is not leaving the chief minister's post if it comes her way. So I don't really see that happening. And when you talk about Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, I mean, as chief minister, I was just telling you how she has stalled his appointment as state BJP chief for several months. And that was for a state BJP president's post when she was the chief minister. And finally, the BJP High Command had to give in and give another candidate. Now, to think that she would accept Shekhawat as the chief ministerial candidate, well, I don't really see that happening.
So, Adil is asking, who has more popular support base among people, Gehlot or Pilot? Why doesn't the Congress have any long-term plans, and why are they dependent on old senior leaders who have age barriers in order to fulfill these long-term plans? Can they afford to lose any more leaders like Scindia?
I hope I'm able to focus on all the strands he has brought in.
Basically, he's asking why.
In terms of popularity, we don't really have any recent surveys to say who is more popular. But the fact is, Gehlot has been there for 50 years in Rajasthan politics. He became NSUI president, Rajasthan NSUI president, way back in 1974. He was in parliament from Rajasthan in 1980. So he has been there for 50 years now in Rajasthan politics. So of course, his stature is pretty big. But for Sachin Pilot also, he went to Rajasthan in 2014, I think January or February, weeks after the Congress had lost the election. And from there, he was there for the next 6 years as Rajasthan Congress president. And going through all the grind, as a party which just lost, as state Congress president, you have to actually revive the party, you have to mobilize the cadres, and you have to fight it out with the ruling party for the next 5 years. And then you bring the party to power. So, of course, he has made his own presence felt very much there, and he has his popular support, of course. You have Gujar community, for instance. I mean, he is their unquestioned leader, and Gujar's influence election outcomes in at least 40 assembly constituencies, 40 out of 200 assembly constituencies in Rajasthan. And then Sachin Pilot has his own, popular support among the youth, among other sections. So both have their own, areas or have their own sections of voters who support them. In the absence of any survey data, I would say I won't really like to compare the two, but the fact is, one has been there for the last 50 years, Pilot has been there for 2 decades, they enjoy their own support bases.
But do you think there's a problem with the Congress honing its next generation of leaders?
Congress should have. When Sachin Pilot was sent, I think that was Rahul Gandhi's idea. Pilot today is 45, Gehlot is 72. Ashok Gehlot may be thinking, well, fine, even in the BJP, the unwritten rule is of 75, so I can't have another stint. And Pilot may be thinking, well, I was the PCC chief for 5 years and I brought the party to power. So how come I have not been rewarded? Both have their own points. And in 2014, I'm sure when he was being sent, he must have been given that message that, you are our next face, which has not happened. So he has reasons to be dissatisfied or frustrated, and he is venting them out now.
Aditya is asking, if Sachin Pilot decides to make a new party, will that party meet a similar fate like that of Captain Amrinder Singh's party, which had to eventually merge with the BJP? And is it a politically smart move to create a party now, considering elections are just 5-6 months away?
Rajasthan has had basically largely bipolar polity. So, smaller parties haven't really made much impact. You look at 2018 elections. So, before the 2018 assembly elections, you had two parties which came up. One was Ghanshyam Tiwari, one was floated by Ghanshyam Tiwari. Ghanshyam Tiwari was Vasundhara detractor. In his first government, he was a very high profile minister. Second government was not there. He floated his own party. I think it was called Bharat Vahini, something like that. And there was a lot of buzz about that new party because Ghanshyam Tiwari is a very prominent Brahmin leader who has been there, who was one of the founder members of the BJP way back in 1980. He was in the RSS. There was a lot of buzz about this. Election results, his party got 0 seat, not a single seat. Then you had another party, Hanuman Beniwal's party, that Loktantrik party. He floated it again weeks before the 2018 assembly election. He floated. He quit the BJP. He was a BJP MLA then. So was Ghanshyam Tiwari also. So Hanuman Beniwal floats a party, Loktantrik party, and at the end he is a big Jat face. But his party ended up getting just 3 seats. But then he did make some impact in the sense that BJP could sense that he had that kind of influence because it was not just about winning 3 seats. He made his presence felt in many other seats, and that's why you saw the BJP aligning with his party in 2019 Lok Sabha election. BJP even gave him a Lok Sabha seat, which he won. After that, of course, during farm agitation, he left the NDA, and he's again trying to emerge as a third player there. But
in
what
fact,
I'm driving at is
there were reports that Sachin was talking to Hanuman. There were various reports.
That is when you start assuming that Sachin will float his own party, then you assume that okay, he'll be aligning with the BJP, with the smaller parties like Loktantrik party.
Aam Aadmi Party was also being floated around in the
middle. Lot of speculation. Yeah. Every time I have talked to Sachin, he has been very clear. He never wants to talk about his options. He just says, what happens to my demands? Let the Congress High Command make it very clear that nothing will be done, and then I will think. So, I have no reason to speculate, in fact, based on my conversations with him, with other leaders in the Congress.
Interesting question from Aditya again. He's saying, we are seeing again and again the conflict is never stopping between Pilot and Gehlot in spite of efforts by the central leadership of the Congress. So, in this situation, Aditya is asking, why hasn't the BJP tried Operation Lotus, provided there are so many golden opportunities provided by the Congress?
Because BJP is more split than the Congress, in fact. If you have just one chief minister and another chief ministerial aspirant in the Congress, you have one former chief minister and about half a dozen other chief ministerial contenders. You start naming them. I was talking about Ghanshyam Tiwari, you have Kiroi Lal Meena, you have Gajan Singh Shekhawat. You have Satish Punia. You can even talk about Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. There are so many contenders. But when you talk about Rajasthan, Vasundhara Raje is the face. So, last time in 2020 when you saw Pilot and 18 other Congress MLAs launching that rebellion against Gehlot, the BJP could not do much because Vasundhara Raje was not coming out openly in support and not trying to topple the Gehlot government, which Congress people have been basically talking about. But it's a fact that Vasundhara Raje was not very keen on toppling the Ashok Gehlot government then. She did not even try to kind of rustle up the numbers from here and there. So, now when he says why the BJP is not able to do it, just because, the message Vasundhara Raje has been getting for the last several years from the party high command is, we topple the government, we'll install somebody else as the chief minister. Why would Vasundhara Raje help the party do that?
So Sankalp again has a question along these lines. He's saying, hello DK. Rajasthan is supposed to be the BJP's safest bet of the year, while Shivraj is up against tough odds. Yet, thanks to the blessing in disguise of the Karnataka loss, Shivraj has promoted himself up the batting order. I think he's referring to the Yadurappa situation in Karnataka. To his credit, it seems to be working for him. But Rajasthan seems like a divided house. By now, they should have been on war footing. If the BJP High Command wishes to dump Raje, shouldn't they have done it by now? Why the lack of urgency?
Lack of to dump Raje, it's very difficult. We have discussed how important she is for the BJP. And when you have such close contests coming, I mean, dumping Raje is a very difficult option. And it's not just about dumping Raje for the assembly election.
It will have effects in Lok Sabha.
It may have some impact on the Lok Sabha election also. Although if you look at the figures, again I was looking at it, in the Lok Sabha, probably the BJP may not care much about Vasundhara Raje's presence or absence, because if you look at the difference from 2013 assembly election, we are talking about December 2013, BJP got 45% votes in the assembly election. Few months later, you have Lok Sabha election 2014, BJP gets 56% vote share, sweeps all 25 seats, but the vote percentage goes up by 11 percentage point. Come to 2018 assembly election, BJP gets about 39% vote. In the assembly election, this November 2018, 38.77% votes to be precise. A few months later, you have Lok Sabha election 2019, BJP gets a hopping 59% votes there, 59%, and we have not even added 2% that Hanuman Beniwal got as an ally of the BJP. So we are talking about 61% votes, 39% in the assembly election 2018, and then 61%. I mean, look at the gap. So BJP can probably afford to, I would say, go without Vasundhara if she so wishes in the Lok Sabha election. But in the assembly election, she remains a very important factor. And if he is asking that why did the BJP not dump her earlier, yes, BJP has been trying for the last several years. It is not able to, because she is not a pushover. She is a leader with mass base.
Before we end, DK, would it be correct to say that the outcome of this Rajasthan election will depend on which of the two parties, Congress or the BJP, manages to get its house together first?
Absolutely. Although both of these parties have had this traditional vote bank. If you look at the figures, and in 1990 again BJP was coming up, when BJP got 25%, you look at it from the BJP's vote share from 93 onwards. 93 when it got 38.6%. After that it has been roughly in mid 30s. Sometimes in 40s went to a 45% vote, but that's like mid 30s, and that's the same case for the Congress also. If I'm not wrong, if I look at the Congress's vote share data, even the Congress's worst performance would give it around 34% vote share. So parties do have their vote share, and in fact one of the Gehlot detractors was telling me it's not about Vasundhara. Even if Vasundhara goes, BJP has always had 35% vote shares, but that's not correct, because BJP also had the stalwarts. First it was Bharat Singh Shekhawat, and then Vasundhara filled up that space. So we have not really tested how the party does without a big stalwart, without a mass leader around. So to say that your party remains a split, be it BJP or the Congress, and you can still win, it's a hypothetical situation. We don't know, because they have not done it yet. But as it looks like, I mean, today, if they don't sort it out, it's going to be a major disaster for whichever party fails in doing that.
That's all that we have for Polygraph today. As you watch this show, probably Sachin Pilot will be holding his mega rally in Dausa on the 11th of June, where we are expecting certain announcements to be made. There has been a lot of speculation around that rally, but we will be following all of that closely, and of course getting you all the political stories from Rajasthan in the run-up to the election later this year. As of now, thanks for watching.